I'm going to speak in a second.
Microphone check 1 2. What up? What up?
Take your time.
We're good. Okay. We got a few minutes.
Jari, what's going on, Jari?
Hey,
No need to rush.
everyone starts rushing. So.
No, it's just
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's tons of activity going on with this case right now.
Christy.
Boots on the ground.
testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing. Can you hear that one?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Like a storage facility of some kind. Collision of Salem, is that what that is right there, that building? Thanks, Pitbull. Yeah, we've learned a lot.
Hello, everyone.
Can you guys hear that?
We are giving you your 20-minute notice. In about 20 minutes, I'm going to have everyone come down here. We're going to have the same structure that we've been doing the past few days. We're going to start on the left. We're going to work our way to the right. Everyone gets one question and then one follow-up question. 20 minutes, starting now, likely longer, maybe 25 minutes. Thanks.
False alarm. Maybe it'll be. What's up, She Warrior? Welcome back, Redfoot. Redfoot, She Warrior, Pitbull Mom. Who else we got up in here? Jari. Mandatory. Mandatory. Obligatory donut. That's on some Homer Simpson stuff there. Right back at you, Moon Shadow. Hello, hello. So apparently they caught this guy. Not sure if there's one suspect or two, but it looks like they pinned him down in some kind of a storage unit. I don't see any perp walk. I haven't seen anybody in handcuffs. I haven't seen an ambulance or anything like that, so I don't know what the hell's going on. All I know is there was an abandoned car found at the storage unit, so this might have been like a rally point. I can hear Vinny from News Nation. He has an unmistakable voice. Sharon, what's up? It's been reported that he has been found by self-inflicted wound. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's kind of what I'm expecting to hear. You might be right. So do we think he's going to have a terrorist connection or a trans connection? I'm not sure. If this is the same guy who killed the professor from MIT, this could be some kind of a love quarrel, similar to when we saw the sheriff shoot the judge over some kind of some shit they were doing behind the scenes that also somehow involved his daughter. You guys remember that? So maybe this is some kind of a love triangle or something like that. It could be political, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the young lady, the Republican leader from Brown, I don't know if she was targeted or not. And I'm not sure if the other gentleman, he may have been collateral damage, may have tried to save her, got in the way, tried to protect her. Or maybe he was the target. MIT and Brown are two prestigious schools. I don't know. Maybe they were onto something that needed to be silenced. Redfoot, I actually get to give a 2 thumbs up on the video. I'm watching the old YouTube account on the big screen and commenting through the new account I had to make for my new phone. Nice. Double fisting. Me either. And I've been watching this for hours. Not sure, but I think that building is a car collision repair business. Yeah, it definitely has 2 large garage doors. Let me see if I can find some closer footage of that. Some people are calling it a storage unit, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't look quite like a storage. Unless it's like a boat or RV or something like that where you can pull it into this warehouse type building.
caught up to speed. Providence police have the name of the person of interest they've been looking for, and there's a warrant out for the arrest. Police are also investigating a possible link between the shooting at Brown.
Having the building surrounded. Agents have entered the facility, but not his unit. Video shows him going into the storage facility.
See, now it looks more like a storage unit here on the side.
At some point, but police are still trying to determine if he ever left. Let's bring in retired for his name in this facility in Salem, New Hampshire.
So maybe that's what they were doing. They were trying to find him. And then they found his body, self-inflicted wound. And then they're going to kind of fill us in with the connection between Brown and MIT. That's what I'm thinking.
Where the abandoned car was found. And police are currently having the building surrounded. Agents have entered the facility, but not his unit. Video shows him going into the storage facility at some point, but police are still trying to determine if he ever left. Let's bring in retired for his name in this facility in Salem, New Hampshire, where the abandoned car was found. And police are currently having the building surrounded. Agents have entered the facility, but not his unit. Video shows him going into the storage facility at some point, but police are still trying to determine if he ever left. And if he ever left. Let's bring in retired for his name in this facility in Salem, New Hampshire, where the abandoned car was found.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much urgency here. They must have found him there. Maybe with the manifesto, or I'm just trying to find out the connection between Brown and MIT. Like, how does the professor fit into all of this? Maybe a disgruntled student? Because I know they were working on their final exam. So maybe he got kicked out of school or something. What's up, Boston?
Found. And police are currently
Guyver, what's up? Do you know anything about the other guy they had video of with the beard? No, I don't. What's up, Jari? I didn't see any guy with a beard. That's what I'm looking for right now, Jari. I know that the crimes are connected because of the rental vehicle, but I'm wondering if the victims are actually connected. Let's see here. Who's this guy? It's like this guy's a friend of the MIT professor. Let's see what he has to say here.
And sold, Carvana.
What are you up to, She Warrior? This guy got around Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire.
Bruno Suarez.
It's really not that far.
He is a plasma physicist, friends with Lauriero, once worked with him in Portugal. Bruno, what an absolute shock for you, for his friends and family. I am, just it's horrible to be talking to you under such a circumstance. I can only imagine. I mean, how shocked were you when you heard such a thing? Your friend, your former colleague, he's a nuclear physicist, and
Nuclear
he
physicist
was murdered at his home.
might be trying to silence this dude.
Yeah, it was quite a shock to hear that he was murdered. To process that someone could do such a violent crime against someone that was so kind and known for being so kind with everyone. So it is really difficult to process.
What's
and
the
really
bottom?
difficult
The suspect
to
found
accept,
dead in a storage unit.
This event.
Yeah, those are the early reports coming out.
We've been
Self-inflicted wound.
reporting, Bruno, that police are now looking at potential ties between your friend's murder and the mass shooting at Brown University this weekend. Initially, they had completely discounted any link between the two events, and it is
What's up, Anthony?
truly stunning to think that it is possible they are related. But no one has any understanding of ties between your friend and Brown University. I mean, are you aware of any ties?
No, I'm not aware of any ties between his work and the work done in Brown University. It's actually very difficult to think and to find any ties between the two events. One is really targeted towards Nuno. It seems something that was a violent crime, very directed. And the other one looks like a random shooting of people that were there. So it's really difficult to find why they would be connected.
Yeah. Well, it is a fair point. I mean, I know you and Nuno, you were friends, and in a very, tight-knit community, I can only imagine. I know you saw him last year. You communicated by email. You've been on video conferences with him through this year. Was there ever anything different? I mean, now that you're looking back on it through this unbelievable lens that you are right now, does anything stand out to you about anything he said
Kevin.
or did or how he looked recently?
Good to catch you on a live stream.
No, everything. He was the same person that I met, the same humor that we were used to. So he was a very funny guy to be around, very intelligent humor. Maybe from the time that he lived in England, he developed this kind of humor. We discussed at the time, it was just when we met in Rome, he took the so we
When
were
in
discussing
Rome.
what he was doing, the advances. We were in a conference about the advances in nuclear fusion and all the investment, private investment that is going on. And he was discussing what was his role now mostly. And
yeah, very suspicious about him.
if anything, he was a bit sad that
This
now
seems
he
like
didn't
your
have enough
textbook
time to do so much
cleanup.
theoretical work as he enjoyed doing, and he was more dedicated to
The
finding
JFK
funding
treatment.
and to develop new infrastructures for his research lab.
So he, I want everyone to have a chance. We've been seeing his picture in recent days, but to actually hear from him, Nuno recorded a video last year, and he loved working with actual students, and he shared this advice.
Excuse me.
I think on any given day, it's tempting to go for the low-hanging fruit. Be a little more ambitious and tackle the really hard problems. Because, if you're not going to tackle the hard problems as a graduate student, when are you going to tackle them?
What else do you want people to know about your friend, Bruno?
Yeah, well, that's
Phil
Nuno, the guy
Bond
that
in the building.
was
Phil Bond.
very rigorous in the work he did, always trying to find challenging problems, someone that enjoyed to be near the students, someone that loved to be in front of a blackboard and drawing equations, explaining what that mean from the scientific point of view, understanding the nature. So what you see here is him. Is exactly what he did, inspiring students to do more and to find their own
connection to Brown
voice.
or the
Bruno,
victims?
thank you very much. We're all
Anything?
grateful for your time and your insight and to talk about.
Wah. Nothing. All right, well, I have to grab the pizza. Watch, right when I go to grab the pizza, it's going to start. Such murder and mayhem in this world. All these brilliant people gone. Hope 2026 is better, but I have my doubts. I don't know. I have a really bad feeling we're going to get into like a huge war or something. I just feel like everything's been kind of getting amped up to all, leading towards that. But hopefully not. Moonshadow says the link is engineering. Maybe he published the paper and it was just on peer review. We don't know who the shooter is, so speculation. Yeah, it kind of seems like the connection is academic or scholastic. So were they working together on a project? Is this some kind of a lover's quarrel? Is this a disgruntled ex-student? Right? It was finals. They ruined his life. They ruined his reputation and his future. They gave him an F. Flunked him. Kicked him out of school. Autumn says 2026 is going to be worse. Possibly. You guys can hear the screen, right? All right, guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the pizza.
Folks, if you can tell it's gotten quiet here. A few minutes out, I suggest everyone, I think most of the fire is going to be the first 5 minutes in the hall.
I thought it would already be cracking off. What the hell? There you go, Boston. I just want to make sure you can hear the audio for when they come up. Julia Roberts? What? That's crazy if she did. Dang, Anthony, you're trying to start a crazy rumor. Pretty interesting. Man, these guys have stage fright or something. They're in the back going, "You go. No, you go. I'm afraid."
I'm just gonna send an email. Actually, they're walking up. They're walking up. They're walking up.
All righty. What's up, Kelly? CJK.
Chris, come over to this side.
I think so, CJK. He may have shot himself in a storage unit. We're about to find out.
Sure. We got everybody? Great.
Well, good evening, everybody. Tonight, our Providence neighbors can finally breathe a little easier.
What's up, Vix?
In a minute, Colonel Perez will share the latest details on the investigation, but I want to thank the people of Providence for stepping up and coming together during an extraordinarily difficult time. I know this has been hard on all of us. Over the past 5 days, minutes have felt like hours, but the people of Providence have done what we're best at. We've leaned on one another, come together and supported one another, and showed the nation what a tight-knit community looks like. It was because of the information provided to us by neighbors and the tireless work of our Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the FBI, the ATF, and many other federal partners. The incredible prosecutorial advice and guidance that we received from the Attorney General's office. We all worked well together to be able to identify this suspect. I know we will have a lot of questions still, and we will continue to work to get those answers. But it is a great honor for me to turn this over to our Chief of Police, Colonel Oscar Perez, and I will say on behalf of the people of Providence, we owe him and every member of the Providence Police Department the deepest debt of gratitude. Colonel.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Well, first and foremost, I want to offer my deepest condolences to the families, the victims. It was for them that this work was put together to make sure that they get the justice that they deserve and to ensure that this person was held accountable.
I believe so,
I'm
Guyver.
extremely proud of this department, actually the officers, the detectives, the real-time crime center, the community response team, the intelligence division, the narcotics division, the task force. This past Saturday, as you all know, December 13, Providence Police Department and Brown University Police Department responded to this horrific tragedy at Brown University 184 Hope. Our officers were there within minutes. That same day, Providence police detectives immediately went to work. immediately went to work.
What's up, Julia?
Looking for video footage.
Yeah, I might reschedule that for
to
tomorrow. I
see
don't know.
who this individual was and who
We'll
was
see.
responsible.
Good to
A
see you.
person of interest was identified from that video footage.
I would hate to get pulled over by this
A
guy.
person of interest was observed on Hope Street, turning onto Waterman Street, and that was one of the first videos that we released. At the same time, every federal agency you can think of was reaching out to the Providence Police Department and responded to the capital city. Images were shared with media within hours. Persons of interest it was the same individual that has been the focus of this investigation since the beginning. All the new images that we received of this person of interest were shared with the media continuously over the past 6 days. This critical evidence was collected with the use of public assistance. As the mayor stated, I'm proud to be the chief of police of this city. I'm proud to be a product of this city for the reasons that the mayor stated. The community stepped up. It was all about groundwork, public assistance, interviews of individuals, and good old-fashioned policing. That is the type of police work that every police officer in this nation reminds themselves of, and that many do not understand. And that is critically important and often succeeds where technology alone cannot. We looked at financial
I heard license
records,
plate readers
we looked at
played a
video
big part.
footages, and in the specific incident, it was actually a video that provided us with a description of a vehicle. That was corroborated through a tip that was received to the tip center. That room was packed with detectives, agents receiving calls on a daily basis. We started early and left late. Then Flock and the LPR was able to provide us with this description of this vehicle. That vehicle was picked up by Flock, which led us to a car rental place in Massachusetts. Through that, the agents and their work as well were able to get us footage of this individual, as well as a copy of the agreement, which provided his real name. The video of that subject matched the description of that person of interest that this police department was desperate to put handcuffs on.
Got him.
That individual was identified as Claudio Neves Valenti, date of birth, and he was a 48-year-old man. He was a Brown
48-year-old Hispanic.
He was a Portuguese national.
Portuguese.
And his last known address was in Miami, Florida. And I will tell you that he took his own life tonight. We have members of the Providence Police Department up in Salem, New Hampshire.
Damn.
And we also have the BCI unit. Obviously, the FBI and their evidence recovery unit is up there. So the process is being conducted as we speak. And it goes without saying that I would like to personally thank the efforts again of the Providence Police Department, the Rhode Island State Police, the Rhode Island Attorney General, the FBI, the ATF, HSI, the U.S. Marshals,
Wonder if he was illegal.
IRS, DEA, Secret Service, and NCIS. There is no way that we could have done this by ourselves. In this nation, when horrific incidents like this happen, law enforcement steps up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colonel. General Arona?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. You know, I would describe the emotions on the investigative team, including our prosecutors and the agents, detectives from both state police, Providence, as mixed. You know, there is a sense of
Not yet, Jari.
completeness
Not yet.
in terms of the investigation, an investigation that's, if not the hardest, among the handful of hardest investigations that I've ever been involved with. And the sense that we owed those 2 dead Brown students and the 9 injured Brown students and the students who were in that auditorium that weren't injured.
All those
and the
Brown students.
community and the Providence community results.
Sounds fun.
And the teams worked really hard. I think I mentioned that to you almost every night that we met with you. I wish they were all up here with us. That we wouldn't fit here, but it's just was remarkable to see the cooperation between the FBI agents, the ATF agents, the HSI agents, the Providence police detectives, the state police detectives, our prosecutors. And I will say that everybody brought
Wow, that's interesting.
A certain expertise to the table, but it is nevertheless a sad moment when you think about those young people who were hurt, injured, or worse, or two of them are now deceased. You know, to me, this was always going to be an investigation where something was going to break it open. We were going to pull threads. We were going to gather evidence that would lead us in a particular direction. And I will say that if we were with you less than, well, I guess now more than 24 hours ago, we had that picture of that second individual. And I would say within an hour, no more than two, I think it was under an hour, that person came forward to two Providence police officers over on the east side.
Oh, thanks for
said
telling
he
us.
had information that he was that person, and he had information that could help this case. And I remember last night watching his interview, and he blew this case right open. He blew it open. And that's how these cases sometimes go. You can feel like you're not
The shooter
making
was brown
a
and the
lot of
victims
progress.
were
You can feel like you're chasing
brown.
leads and they don't work out. But the team keeps going because, you know, those of us with experience know that you're going to pull a lot of threads, and it's not always the first one that's going to get you where you need to go. But when you do crack it, you crack it. And that person led us to the car, which led us to the name, which led us to the photographs of that individual renting the car, which matched the clothing of our shooter here in Providence, that matched the satchel that we see here in Providence. He was found dead with a satchel with two firearms and evidence in the car that that matches exactly.
That's interesting because earlier
what we
during the
see at
live
the
stream, I mentioned
scene
he
here in
possibly had two firearms.
And so
Extended
I know that
magazines with
you
two
and the public
firearms.
have questions about how we got
What's up, Gollum?
from a place yesterday where all we could share with you was a photograph of someone we wanted to talk to
Yeah,
where we
they
got
never
to
do.
tonight. And so we
Yeah,
have,
I think it's better
we
that
got
way.
a state
They need to keep
arrest
each other in
warrant for
check.
murder today. That was signed by a district court judge for this individual. There won't be a prosecution now, of course, but that affidavit is on our website, and you will be able to see more and read more about how this investigation unfolded. I won't get you all the way there because there are some things that happened afterwards which led us to this suspect's body in New Hampshire. But it will, I think, tell you, give you a sense of the work that went into this by the line prosecutors and the line agents and detectives from the agencies that work so well together. So, you know, as I said, it's with mixed emotions. It is
They're going to give them
unimaginable, the
questions,
pain
so
that the
I'm
parents
sure
and
they're
families of
going to ask
the
all those
deceased
questions here in a minute.
are feeling tonight, and will feel undoubtedly for quite a while. But I hope that by bringing this person to justice, that we can at least give them the beginnings of some measure of closure. And I want to thank you all for your patience with me when I got a little testy with some of you. Those of you who know me from Rhode Island, you know that's my nature. So I really want to thank you for your patience. Thank you.
General.
Yeah, they're going to
As
ask.
has been said several
That'll
times.
be the first question.
Partnership with the FBI was invaluable. And so it's a pleasure to introduce Special Agent in charge of FBI, Ted Talks.
Yeah, very strange. 48 years old.
Thank you, Mayor. And good
I'm
evening.
Richard
My
Allen
name is
shit.
Ted Dox, Special Agent in charge of FBI Boston. We got him. Shortly before 9 o'clock tonight, the FBI SWAT team executed court-authorized search warrants at a storage unit facility in Hampshire Road in Salem, New Hampshire. This is where we located Claudio Neves Valente, the individual who we believe was responsible for the Brown shooting. The latest developments in an intense 5-day manhunt and is a result of an incredible amount of work dedicated by the law enforcement team standing here before you tonight. Every single agency brought their unique skills and expertise to this investigation. We're motivated by the victims and survivors of this horrific incident. Even though the suspect was found dead tonight, our work is not done.
It's very
There are many
convenient.
questions that need to be answered. There's a lot of evidence that needs to be processed, and most importantly, the victims and their families deserve special care and consideration. The FBI and our partners across Rhode Island,
Yeah.
Massachusetts, and New Hampshire
Welcome
will
in,
continue to
WG.
search for answers.
Yeah,
for
no
the victims,
prosecution, right?
survivors, and their families. To
Very
see what
convenient.
motivated this individual to carry out such a senseless act of violence. From the onset of this critical incident, it's been all hands on deck. The FBI deployed approximately 500 special agents, analysts, task force officers, and support personnel to assist our partners in this investigation. In addition to this extra manpower, all our specialty teams were activated, including Evidence Response Team, SWAT, Divert, and Victim Services Response Team, just to name a few. A special thanks to you, the media, as well as to the community. My sincere thanks to Colonel Perez, Colonel Weaver, AG Nerona,
There you go,
Brown
Kelly.
University PD, and all of our partners. This was truly a team effort. Thank you.
Thank you. Another critical partner at every step along the way was the ATF. I'd like to introduce Special Agent in Charge of the ATF, Tom Greco.
Claudio.
Good evening. My name is Tom Greco, a special agent in charge of ATF Boston. From the moment 911 reports of the shooting at Brown University came through, there's been an around-the-clock effort to identify the perpetrator and to protect the community. The men and women of ATF, including our special agents, our intelligence research specialists, and our support personnel, have been proud to support and be part of that effort, leveraging our unique experience, dedicated investigators, canine handlers, and crime gun intelligence technology, such as NIBIN, the National Integrated Ballistics Information Network, to compare ballistic evidence, and our other available tools to support the investigation.
Yeah, right,
And to
Moonshadow?
help identify Claudio Neves Valente as the individual that we believe was responsible. ATF's mission, first and foremost, is to protect communities from violent crime. Each individual in this country deserves to live in peace and security in their homes, in their schools, in their places of worship, and in the streets. The actions of Claudio Neves Valente stole that right and terrorized the community. I'd like to emphasize to the public, was a highly dangerous individual capable of extreme violence. And we're happy to have been part of this investigation and proud to have worked with our partners to identify him and see this through. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. From the very outset on Saturday, from our first press conference in the fire station to today, Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee has been by Providence's side every step of the way. The city of Providence is incredibly grateful for the governor's support, the state police, not just their assistance with the investigation, but in supporting the broader community. It's a pleasure to introduce Governor Dan McKee.
Thanks, Mayor, and clearly your staff, I feel the same way with the team that you have, that we were happy
that might be him there.
able to assist. And as a former mayor, many of here in the audience know that I've been a mayor, some don't, but I empathize and sympathize with the position that you were in and the fact that you needed people to follow the lead of the Providence police and to partner in with some extraordinary people, whether it's with the FBI or the ATF, and of course our state police as well. From the very beginning, my thoughts as a dad was with the families who suffered from the shooting. The unthinkable happened in our state. The unthinkable happened in Providence. The unthinkable happened at Brown University. And we're going to be forever changed. But our commitment from the state level is to continue to support Providence, Brown, and the people of the state of Rhode Island in the recovery. That's going to take a great deal of time. But I do say this, the professionalism that I saw in the law enforcement should make everyone that lives in our state and beyond our borders feel very safe. These things happen, but it requires some professional help in law enforcement to bring it to the conclusion that we've been able to bring it to. So Colonel, thank you, everybody involved. And again, we will stand with Providence and Brown University and the people of the state of Rhode Island to provide the help that will be needed in the recovery in a trauma like this.
Thank you, Governor. Throughout the year, the Rhode Island State Police is an incredible partner to Providence, but during this investigation, their support was invaluable. I introduce Colonel of the State Police, Colonel Weaver.
My name is Colonel Darnell Weaver, the Superintendent of the Rhode Island State Police. I want to begin by recognizing the excellent and exceptional efforts of the Providence Police Department and Colonel Oscar Perez. From the very first moments of this investigation, the Providence Police Department has worked collaboratively and relentlessly day and night on this investigation while protecting our capital city. Their detectives followed facts, developed evidence, and pursued every credible lead. Colonel Perez's leadership has been steady and decisive, focused on identifying the person responsible for this tragedy. As always, our troopers stepped up, working shoulder to shoulder with the Providence Police and our local, state, and federal partners. I want to give particular recognition to our detectives whose diligence and dedication contributed to this investigation. Our detectives and division leadership operated as a unified team, sharing intelligence, resources, and expertise. This has truly been an all-hands-on-deck investigation, as virtually every trooper has taken extra shifts to help support the efforts in Providence. And I have never been prouder
we're all friends.
to be a member of the Rhode Island State Police. This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Rhode Island State Police, and this case stands out among one of the most challenging in our state's history. The sheer volume of digital evidence, the complexity of the investigation, and the intense public interest played an extraordinary demands on everyone involved. Despite that pressure, investigators remain disciplined, methodical, and focused on facts. We are grateful for the assistance of the public, particularly those who shared our information, provided tips, and gave us doorbell camera footage and access to their property. We are also thankful for the ongoing support of Rhode Islanders. We know that you have been with us through this entire investigation. I also want to be very clear about something else. Criminal investigations are grounded in evidence, not speculation or online commentary. The endless barrage of misinformation, disinformation, rumors, leaks, and clickbait were not helpful in this investigation. Distractions and unfounded criticisms do not support this work. They complicate it and threaten to undermine the justice we seek for the victims and the grieving families. Despite these challenges, good police work prevailed, and we have lessons that we can bring forward from these long days ahead. To the Brown University community and the people of Rhode Island, be assured that this case reflects
From
the law
Miami, Florida.
enforcement community and what we are capable of, and that we are continue to support the victims and the broader community as the healing continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. Providence is so proud to be home to Brown University, and we are committed to working together with them in the future as they help heal their community as we do our broader Providence community. We continue to give condolences to the deceased and our prayers to those who are recovering. The leader of Brown has been a great partner through this whole process. I'd like to introduce
Yeah, he's
President
easy to
Christina
find. He's
Paxson
from
Brown University.
Florida.
Thank you. Nothing can really fully bring closure to the lives that have been shattered over the past week, but this may allow our community to move forward and begin a path of repair and recovery and healing. I want to thank the dedicated law enforcement agencies that have worked so tirelessly on this case, really around the clock, as well as our neighbors and others who participated in giving tips and helping with the investigation. We hope that this outcome tonight brings an increased sense of safety for our community at Brown and in the surrounding area. This has been a period of great fear and anxiety for many people, and now perhaps some form of relief. Truly, this week has been devastating for our community in a number of ways, including the experiences that members of our community have had with being targeted by online rumors and accusations. And I hope that this development also means an end to this truly troubling activity. So we remain focused on the safety and security of our community and in support for the victims of this senseless violence. Now, we know the public and our own Brown community members will want to know more about the individual now identified by law enforcement as the suspect in last weekend's shooting. And we can confirm the following to the best of our knowledge, based on our review in the very short time since law enforcement authorities made us aware of this development. And we provided this information to law enforcement as they build their case and wrap up the investigation. So Claudia Manuel Neves Valente was enrolled at Brown from the fall of 2000 to the spring of 2001. He was admitted to Brown's graduate school to study in the Master's of Science PhD program in physics, beginning on September 1st, 2000. And he took a leave of absence effective April 2001 before formally withdrawing effective July 31st, 2003.
Yep, there you go.
During his time at
Disgruntled
Brown,
student.
Nueves Valente was enrolled
That
only
was our
in
first
physics
guess.
classes. The majority of physics classes at Brown have always been held within the Barris and Hawley classrooms and labs. Now, detailed records indicating where specific courses were held don't extend back to 2001.
Yeah, there you go, Guyver.
But we can say that physics classes typically require access to specialized equipment, including demonstration carts that are a fixed asset. in
Exactly,
some of their
WG. They act
default
like they do all
classrooms.
this crazy
So
stuff,
I
but
think
they're on
it's safe to
Facebook too.
assume that this
Right? They're just
man,
looking
when he
on
was a
social media like
student,
the rest of us.
spent a great deal of time in that building for classes and other activities as a PhD student in physics. He has no current active affiliation with the university or campus presence. So again, we thank law enforcement and so many others for their extensive work on this case, day and night, and we look forward to a sense of restored safety for Brown, Providence, and the Rhode Island communities. Thank you.
Thank you, President Paxson. The last speaker, and then we will take your questions, is the Chief of the Brown Police Department, Chief Chapman. Remember, his officers were the first to respond on Saturday, and we are so grateful for both their immediate and heroic response and their partnership over the last 5 days. Chief.
I want to express my ongoing prayers and care concern for our entire community. I certainly also want to acknowledge and thank the men and women of the Brown University Police and Public Safety for their efforts. As you see, this was a Herculean task and required a lot of collaboration and work. and our officers and our public safety personnel were shoulder to shoulder with these assets. I do want to also thank all of you who have helped citizens and law enforcement. That partnership and collaboration means the world to us, and we couldn't have gotten there without you. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We'll now open up to questions. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What led authorities to link the incidents between Brown University and MIT?
I can get Bernie.
And I can follow up with that.
Good question.
Yeah, I'll start. I'll just tell you that a lot of the information and evidence that we ended up gathering linked us to a connection up in Massachusetts, but obviously at the MIT. But I feel a respect to the authorities in Mass as well as the FBI that's for them to come in. But I'll tell you that the groundwork that started in the city of Providence by our detectives, the detective division under the command of Major LePayan, as well as the federal partners that we had in our room upstairs, and ATF, the FBI, led us to that connection. And so that was great work.
Especially FBI, well, does FBI want to weigh in on that?
I think it was a lady. I think her phone, she lost her phone. And then when she got it back, she was going through the footage.
Link that you're talking about,
and she
that
captured
case
the
is being
car,
worked out of
sent in the tip.
Massachusetts with the leadership of U.S. Attorney Leah Foley. I believe that they're having a press conference today.
That's how they found
where
him.
They'll reveal more to the general public at that time. I'd be remiss to start and kind of talk on this. To let them kind of have first dibs to kind of be the ones to tell the public about those particular links.
And your
but your follow-up, sir.
As for the second person who came forward, what did that person tell you? And did that person know the shooter?
So yeah, obviously I had mentioned at the last press conference that it was a person that we wanted to speak with. The work of the video collections that we had led us to identify that there was a person that actually encountered this individual. So it corroborated everything that we saw. We saw a person of interest. We saw that there was a vehicle involved. And this person came in, broke the case in the sense that explained to us exactly what we thought we had seen and put that individual at the crime scene. Obviously, that was the break. We knew that we were in the right direction to ensure that we were going after this individual. Obviously, took his life.
They found she gave him the car, and then they used the license plate readers to see if there was any correlation. And they got a hit on a rental.
As far as we know, Steve, he acted alone.
And is there an anti-Semitism component to this?
No, that we know of, no.
John.
Colonel, what was the events that led to the storage facility? So was he pursued there? Did he know authorities were going after him? When was he last alive? Like, how did that play out?
So it plays out in the sense that I just stated, we collected all the evidence. We were able to learn that there was a rental vehicle. We learned about that vehicle. There was financial records that were verified by the FBI, obviously, and other agencies. I'm sorry, actually. So another agency, so multiple agencies that verified financial records that brought us to that site to know that he had actually rented a site at the storage unit. And then we ended up in Salem.
In a follow-up.
Yeah.
When he did that, did he know authorities were coming, or did he just go and, like, how long had he been in that storage unit?
That we're not aware of, John, in the sense that all we knew is that we were on a manhunt, and that's what he led us
50,000, I
to.
think, Anthony.
Amanda.
Okay, Chief, I have some questions for you, Claudio. So he graduated, he did graduate, he was at Brown more than 20 years ago. His last known address was in Miami, but now he's here at
See
Brown
Miami.
University, potentially also at MIT. What do you know about what brought him up here?
There's going to be unknown answers that we have no answer as far as that. Obviously, came up here and committed this horrific incident and this tragedy, and that's all we knew. Our mission was to ensure that we could find him and bring him to justice. But yeah, no, at this point, correct.
No motive. What the hell?
Of the evidence that you collected, have you collected
That's
the
bullshit.
handgun that you believe was used in the shooting? Have you collected any type of manifesto or evidence? Have you planned for?
So as far as I know, that's the FBI evidence recovery team is up in Salem, New Hampshire, and they're collecting whatever evidence is up there. This happened just now as before we came up here.
Bill.
Any criminal history, political affiliations, any social media posts, anything of that sort that you can report to us about Mr. Valenti?
Nothing that I know of, Steve.
Behind him. Go ahead, white shirt.
Is there any indication that Mr. Valenti was planning any future attacks?
Nothing that we know of. No.
In the way back.
Special Agent Doc, can you also tell us if the connection, I know you said you can't talk too much about the MIT, but the fact that it was a physics professor at MIT and in the physics building and he was studying physics, have you tied all of that up, and does that lead, why target one person in Massachusetts and then a whole class here in Providence?
Yes, it is true that Mr. Valente was a physics student. Also, we know that the MIT, the victim there, was in that discipline as well. I will tell you that there's multiple phases to an investigation. And so now, in a sense that we know the subject is deceased. Now that investigation continues to find out all of those answers to your question, sir.
Did you go to school with the professor? Did you go to school with the professor who was killed? Can Brown answer that?
It is believed that in Lisbon, that those two individuals attended the same university in Portugal.
You have a follow-up in back.
Muy poquito.
Go for it.
But,
Sorry, empiezo desde el principio.
Did you guys hear that? They went to the same university in Portugal. So yeah, they're definitely connected. Maybe he's upset because he's all successful, right? He's an MIT
The question was
professor.
if I can
And this dude's a
briefly
dropout.
explain how we got to this individual and what occurred. So, verdaderamente lo que pasó, obviamente el incidente del sábado 13 nos llevó a tomar evidencias, colectar evidencias de videos, de informaciones, y expliqué que es muy importante el trabajo de los policías y los detectives en el piso, haciendo el trabajo duro, recolectando videos, recolectando testimonios. En este tipo de casos recibimos información, obviamente, de los videos que colectamos. Nos dimos cuenta que había un vehículo de interés y una persona de interés desde el principio. Esto nos llevó a después informarnos de la placa del carro, la descripción del carro, y eso nos llevó a darnos cuenta de que esa persona había rentado el vehículo en una compañía en Massachusetts. Después de que fuimos a Massachusetts, cogimos videos de la persona. Esa persona era en la misma descripciones de la persona de interés de nosotros acá en la ciudad de Providence. De ahí pasamos con los agentes federales a investigar un poco más y llegamos a los récords financieros que nos llevó a Salem, New Hampshire, en esta noche. Allá hubo una entrada táctica del equipo del FBI y encontramos que esta persona se había quitado la vida ellos mismos. Ahora estamos investigando más si hay algo que necesitamos saber más de él.
Yeah, personal grudge.
Colonel or is there a note or manifesto of some kind, and is that providing any information about a motive or anything that they might have done later?
Again, the FBI recovery team in forensics are up in Salem,
It looks
New
like the
Hampshire.
same blue
At this point,
shirt.
we don't have any of that.
Any indication of why now? What's the significance behind why this happened on Saturday?
That we don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we know the answer to that question. I think there's a lot of unknowns with respect to motive. I mean, I think that the real issue here is the key was to identify this person, as we talked about yesterday. I think there are other answers that are coming, but once we were able to identify him, thanks to that individual who came forward, who led us to a plate, which led us to a rental car, which led us to that he rented that car in his own name. That really broke the case open. But in terms of why Brown, I think that is a mystery. I think there may be something going on in Massachusetts that I'm not fully familiar with because we're working this angle, but I think the Massachusetts authorities may be able to share that. Yeah, I don't think we have any idea why now or why Brown, why these students, why this classroom. That is really unknown to us, and it may become clear. I hope that it does, but it hasn't as of right now.
Fox,
This
go ahead.
is for the Colonel or the Attorney General. On 216 was a surveillance video that showed the second person that apparently blew this case wide open, and also Mr. Valente. You see them disappear behind bushes. Was this second person following the shooter? Did he recognize him and confront him? What was that interaction like? And that followed.
That's a great question, and I'll be all explained in the affidavit that the general stated that will be released. But I'll give you a brief sort of explanation about that. the person that we wanted to speak with had an interaction with this individual earlier in the day, then observed him later at that time where you just stated, and decided that he was going to encounter him and asked him why he was inside Brown. At that point, the person, the subject of interest, Neves, actually ran. He was caught up by our person that we wanted to speak with. There was sort of a conversation between the two of them, and Neves asked him, "Why are you harassing me?" And at that point, the person that broke the case walked away. And that information was critical to us because he was able to corroborate what our detectives were seeing on video, and he was able to provide a great explanation.
And my follow-up question
Yes.
is, why did it take a citizen to notice a suspicious
Bam.
person right next to Brown University and not the police? And also, how long was the vehicle parked where it was? And was
Yeah,
it days,
give the
hours?
citizen some credit. Jeez.
It appeared to be days as far as the evidence. Why would a civilian observe that to be suspicious? It's a great point. And I like the fact that you're mentioning that and bringing that up. That's what we should all be doing, right? And it's just personality. Some people are more interested in finding out what others are doing. In this particular case, this person decided that he wanted to, and I'm glad he did.
Shouldn't the police be interested in that, not citizens? That's what I was-
In the back.
Now that the suspect, Attorney General, now that the suspect won't be prosecuted, can you explain what he yelled in the classroom to America?
Yeah, there you go. Great question.
Sure.
Was it something, terrorist related?
That was driving me crazy.
To the kids in that class?
Yeah.
What did he say?
So what did he yell in the
well,
classroom?
back to that question just for a minute, just to clarify that. They had a interaction in the bathroom in Barris and Holly. So, I don't know, the Providence Police is obviously not going to patrol Barris and Holly. That's a question frankly, for Brown and their police department. So they had an interaction there, and then our citizen, followed him out because to him, as he explained it to us, this guy did not belong there. And so that's why he followed him out. In terms of what was said, I don't know any more today than what I told you yesterday, or the day before. There are some witnesses who said he said nothing. There are some that say he made a barking noise. Don't ask me. I don't know why. And that's it. There is no other spoken word beyond that we are aware
Crazy.
of as we stand before you tonight. And we have spoken to everybody that we have been able to locate.
Thank you,
who's been
Jory.
inside that building.
Hit the Cash App.
Special agent in charge. My follow-up question is, can you just be clear to the people of Massachusetts? And I know you said the people in Norfolk County and investigated Mass, but you did say a few days ago that you talked to the colonel of the state police and said
I did.
there's no connection between Brookline and what happened here in Rhode Island. But now you're saying there was a connection. So are you saying that he shot up Brown University, then 2 days later he was at this house in Brookline to shoot this MIT professor, and then he just drove up to Salem, New Hampshire for no reason? How did he get into a store?
No, I think that's a great question. My actual statement was that we didn't see a connection at that time, but absolutely I spoke to the colonel. Right now, that case is being resided over by U.S. Attorney Leah Foley. They're having a press conference at 10 o'clock tonight, I believe. I think at that time, they will speak to that particular case. I would be getting a little bit ahead of my skis if I spoke to that case without consultation with Leah Foley and her team, as we've been in the trenches working this up to the minute today, sir.
I guess 2 days ago you didn't know they were connected. Now you're saying they appear to be.
Yes, and that's how cases often go. I would say at that time, when that question was asked of me, there was no indication of a link at that time. As we've talked throughout this week, these breadcrumbs develop, and we'll see what she has to say today at 10 p.m.
Yeah, if I could I just want to jump in here on that, please. I just want to jump in here on that because it's a good question.
Yeah, what do you do, bark?
So
What the
just to put everyone's mind at ease who's listening now, he just drive to some random storage area. We found records with the help of the FBI and others that was his storage area. So he rented a car in Boston. He drove it. We were able to find that car in New Hampshire. We were able to find
Probably has a
evidence in
tracking
the car,
device.
looking at it from the outside, that connected this individual to our crime scene here in Rhode Island. We were able to find visual evidence of him inside that storage facility, which, in my judgment, matches him to the Massachusetts scene. So you'll hear more, as the special agent said, but there is no question that that was his storage unit, that he had a particular car, that we found that car because of this citizen coming forward and giving us a description of the car. And then our individual who came forward, we knew he was telling the truth because we could see it on the videotape. And so that was a series of things that broke this case. And that led us to Salem, where the suspect was found dead.
Staff.
Believed to be living in Miami. Did he fly here at some point? How long was he in Providence for? And when did he obtain the guns?
Go ahead.
Yeah, he did, like I said, he'll be in the affidavit, but he did fly into Providence, I believe, earlier October, I believe. That's the right date. And what was the other question? I'm sorry, Steph.
Did he buy the guns here? Where do you get the guns?
So I'm sorry, I can't answer. Yeah.
We don't know the answer to that, Steph, as we stand here right now.
Yeah, well, you can fly with guns. It's pretty easy.
Well, that's possible. What we do know is that he was moving around New England in that October, November, December area. You remember, we just we know that there's a body in New Hampshire. We know that there are guns at the scene. It still remains to be examined, comparing those guns to the ballistics evidence we have in Rhode Island. And I imagine they'll do that in Massachusetts. But again, that's somebody else's investigation. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we match the DNA. But we are 100% confident that this is our target, and that this case is closed from a perspective of pursuing people involved.
And Steph, just to add, I think Special Agent Doug stated, obviously we didn't know who he was. And so it's very difficult to know what a person did prior without any knowledge of who that person is.
Dan. Can I just ask Special Agent this question? It sounds like from everything everybody's saying that the person who came forward to speak to you is kind of the hero in this story in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
We know that there's a $50,000 reward.
Mhm.
You get the reward.
Ooh, $50,000 reward.
You know, I will say that in this particular situation, that individual will likely get absolutely some aspect out of that award. We've had a lot of other tips, I will tell you as well, that have come in from the public. And so I don't deal typically with the distribution of those rewards. But I mean, it would
Nobody
be
ever gets the
logical to think
reward,
that
you guys.
absolutely that individual would be
bullshit.
entitled to some of that reward. Yes, sir.
Second row, red shirt. Go ahead. Yeah, you.
Thank you. Fox News Digital, do we know when or how the suspects left Providence? For the colonel.
Yep, that's what it sounds like, Anthony.
Well, we know he left
Exactly.
Providence and committed a homicide in another state. And that, but we don't know. I'm sorry, how did he leave?
No, so do we know when he left Providence?
Yeah, when he left, that's what as far as we know that he left, but we didn't, I believe his last activity was obviously when we found out he was in another state committing another crime.
Pat.
Pat Ward, Coalition Radio. I'll throw this out to all of you, with particular regards to the Brown University president. A recurring theme for the last few days has been an outreach, ultimately successful, to the people of Rhode Island and the people of New England to track this individual down. While at the same time, we've got this sort of passive aggressive criticism of individuals who are being actively asked to engage via social media, who are wildly spreading rumors,
Yeah.
some of which couldn't have possibly emanated anywhere than law enforcement. And I do have a follow-up.
Bunch
So
of
would anyone like
haters.
to respond to that? I mean, it's.
Yeah, don't hate on
it's
social
kinda
media.
condescending to a lot of people. I know, Governor Key, you're confused. That's not uncommon. But the.
That's uncalled for.
I like that one.
We're moving on. Current.
And they didn't even answer the
current.
question.
Was that information originally posted online, or was that person encouraged to come forward based on what people online?
Correct. There was a tip that was placed online,
That's
and
bullshit.
obviously we were doing our due diligence to find out who that tipster was. And then we were able to identify this person who we wanted to speak with. And then we learned that that person was actually the same person that put the tip on that up that you're speaking about.
Brian.
I'm sorry?
Does that person live in the area?
It was the same person that we brought into the police station to speak with.
The images
Brian.
that you showed.
That's what I'm talking about, Anthony. That was some bullshit. That mayor's a dick.
Images taken from.
They were taken from the
He looks like a
car rental
reptilian.
business place that we
Look at
learned
this
about.
creep.
No.
President Paxton, if you could, the situation is described that you had
a
the
prick.
suspected gunman and this other person had an encounter in the engineering building
hours before the shooting. I had been told by an employee that there had been concerns raised at Brown previously about people getting in the building. Have you heard those, and was anything done to address those concerns about people getting into the building?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I think we're going to have to look back and say, you know, we don't know how this person got in. We don't know when they came in. We do know that the building was unlocked that day for exams, and that's something we're going to have to
Had
look
you heard
into.
concerns from staff members in the past?
It looks like Ferris Bueller's homie.
But yeah.
Dan.
President Paxton, Dan Jay from NBC 10. I want to go back to the question I asked you Saturday night when I first arrived on the scene. There were no cameras in this building. And law enforcement, some that are standing up behind you, have said if Brown had cameras in that part of the building, we would have gotten this guy. And it may have stopped this swirling action. Can you answer that question for me?
Well, I don't think we have said the locations of cameras at Brown. We
But
have
there's no cameras in that
we
building
have
because why would they take it from a rental car agency?
we have 1,200 cameras at Brown.
But not in that building.
We have some in that building. It's a large complex. And I think what you would see is the video evidence in this case, from my perspective, I'm not a law enforcement agent, has been incredibly helpful. The moving of the person around the neighborhood, those video images, they help crack this case. So I think video was important. And as the Attorney General explained at a recent press conference, this individual was not spending his time on the Brown campus. He came into a building on the edge of the campus. He left. He was in the neighborhoods. The investigation focused on the neighborhoods. The video was there. And that was really, really instrumental in cracking the case.
And
But
my
you
second-
can ask them.
And this is my follow-up, Madam President, if you say at the podium.
She's like,
Video played a big role in this case. The neighbor's video, the rental.
where were your videos?
But not the video from the building that he walked in freely both before when he got in a confrontation and when he came back in and decided to kill people.
That's a good point.
You didn't have cameras in that building. Just say it so we can get this over. And my next question is,
Thank you.
will you put
Dan, you got
cameras
one
in-
follow-up.
will you
Yeah.
put the cameras in that building? Will
Yeah.
there be more cameras in that building?
Yeah, you know, I think we need to look back. We'll look at everything
Just
that
own
was
it.
done, but I do not think a lack of cameras in that building, it had anything to do with what happened there.
Oh my
And we will
gosh.
go forward. Thank you.
Tom.
Tom from WPRO. Colonel Perez.
What a coward.
I'm hearing from sources that the person that identified the shooter happened to be a homeless person that either lived around or inside that Barris and Holly building. Can you confirm more about this person for us? And then I have a follow-up for President Paxton.
I'll tell you, there was a person that was pretty attentive about his surroundings. I'll tell you, there was a person that was very cooperative and helpful to this investigation. And I'll tell you that he was a great individual that actually assisted us in getting
Yeah,
us to this
Guyver.
point where we're at. I'll tell you that. He was.
They
yes.
better fire her after this shit. She should have owned that shit.
And
like, absolutely, we
his
should have had
testimony, had
more
we needed
cameras.
it,
We're
would not
working on
only
it
have
right
been
now.
Credible, it would have been persuasive. He was as outstanding a witness
Disgraceful.
as I've seen, and he deserves a lot of credit. You know, recognizing there's a gunman on the loose, that the gunman knows he had this
I hate
interaction
soul
with him,
suckers.
and
What
he
up?
didn't. Once he knew that we were looking for his help, I mean, he came forward within an hour. And that person deserves a tremendous amount of credit. I don't know whether he's going to get the reward
He
or
just
not.
seems like
but
another
if I had a
useful
vote, he would.
individual that gets
You gotta
paid
follow-
way
are
too
we
much
done?
money.
Go ahead.
And this is the type of situation that they fear the most because it exposes that.
In October, the
Fucking useless.
Brown Daily Herald reported that you had a vote of no confidence in your leadership, and students were concerned.
Should get rid of her and the mayor.
And the fact that you had prioritized
Little twitchy
desk
prick.
jobs over field jobs and having more people patrolling the campus. Now, in
Never.
light of this, do you accept
What's up,
any
Mary?
kind of responsibility for this? And now that we've given these prior warnings,
Yeah, you're pretty late. I think they're wrapping up.
how the Brown police operate in the future now, so this doesn't happen again, and these students
Thanks,
can feel
CJK.
more safe on campus when they return.
Great. So as I stated earlier, I'm profoundly proud of the men and women of public safety and profoundly proud of our police department. We will continue with the heroic work that they've done and continue to work side by side with our partners. And everything else that comes with that is a continual effort to do what is best for the safety and security of our campus.
But will you reassess how the people are allocated within your department?
Every single day, we work and endeavor to keep our campus safe, whatever that entails and all that entails.
In the back.
Yes, Timothy, I was wondering, I think this is a question for the Colonel. Can you talk about, you said that 2 weapons were found in Melissa's car.
There you go. Hit the like button.
The gun that was used to shoot here at Brown, has that weapon been found? Can you speak to that?
That's all part of this continuing investigation. This just before we came downstairs, actually, as you all were watching, that was developing up in Salem, New Hampshire.
Can you say whether or not that the weapons were purchased?
Hold on a second.
Yeah, those firearms were found at the deceased body, not in a car. So he killed himself inside the storage unit, and the firearms were found at his in the area of his thigh and in the area of his feet. It was not in a car. There was evidence that was observed from outside the car that matched our crime scenes, meaning mask, clothing, satchel, which you can see on that video. And there was a main plate over a Florida plate. This guy was changing plates. One of the reasons it was so hard to find was he knew what he was doing. He was changing plates. And so, that's why the collective work of following and finding this car was made more difficult because this guy
Damn,
was
he
changing
planned
plates.
this.
So we got a main
He
plate
planned this out.
and we got a Florida plate on the same car in New Hampshire.
Patrick.
As he was a.
Patrick.
I'm sorry, especially.
I was just going to add.
Please.
Tom Greco again from ATF. It's okay. As far as the ballistics evidence, I know that the last question concerned matching the guns found to the crime scene. As several people up here have said, this investigation is ongoing and in many ways, in some ways, still just beginning. So those weapons that were found at the scene, we will be using our
Hit the
tools
like
such as
button.
NIBIN
Don't be a
to
scrub.
compare the ballistic evidence to see if we have any matches. So we use those tools to rule things in and to rule them out as well. So we'll be following up on that.
Yes,
throughout the
apparently
remainder of the
the MIT professor and the shooter went to the same university in Portugal.
And how did he get into the country?
And I think they might be the same age.
You have that answer? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do. So as far as we know, he had a student visa. He had came in here with a student visa, and we also had learned that he had applied to get a green card.
Do we know, and for President Paxson, does Brown have
And Patrick, if I could just be clear on that, he got that lawful
Very
permanent
clean.
resident status in September of 2017.
Thank you, I was gonna ask, but then, and for President Paxson, has Brown? had
Yeah, we're about to
any
close it down.
communication From Neves Valente in the period after he left until now?
As far as I know, no, he has really gone off our radar. We will continue to cooperate with the police as they continue with the investigation to find anything we can find about him. But his last class that he took at Brown was in 2001.
Straight back.
This question's for the Colonel or the Attorney General. If you hadn't focused on the wrong person of interest on day one, do you think the professor in Massachusetts would be alive?
Well, from the beginning, I've told you that this investigation is extremely complex and intense. And so we used every resource as soon as we responded to the call. I stated that earlier. I'm proud of the men and women of this department. Yes, we did find somebody that we thought obviously was the person, but we continued on. We continued on investigating. We continued on canvassing the areas. We continued on with video. And that's why we ended up where we're at now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's all the time I have. Sorry to cut it short. I'm sure you can jump on any of these other live streams. Thanks for choosing me and hanging out with me. I appreciate that. Please hit the like button on the way out. And if you haven't already subscribed, do it now. Consider becoming a member. And all of the Sleuth crew members, thank you so much. And everybody else, I'll catch you later. Peace.